What is up, guys? It's Ben here. I just got back from a great trip. I went back to Western North Carolina and did a little bit of flying, a whole bunch of camping and hiking. Very glad to be home though. To be honest, we've been doing a ton of travel and making some great memories together as a family this summer, but I haven't really shared too much on this channel. So let me catch you up a little bit on what's been going on the last few weeks. My wife is doing a little bit of a girls trip with their college friends. My kids are with their grandparents and cousins, and I got to do a solo trip, which was a lot of fun for me. I've got Moonshiners FlyIn coming up in the next few days. That is a pretty sweet sunset. So this trip that I did, I was out in Bryson City, North Carolina, where I did some camping, and I actually started my trip out by meeting my friend Brook and some other North Carolina pilots closer to Asheville, North Carolina. Brook runs a school called Red Pill Paramotor. If you haven't met Brook, you will hardly find someone more passionate about paramotors. I was so excited for this flight because it was the first time I really launched in the mountains and got to fly around mountains. And the conditions felt good at the time of launch, but we were really cautious because there was a nearby storm cell that we were keeping an eye on. When we felt the air become a little bit more turbulent, we all landed quickly, and I was lucky not to eat it as I landed a little bit downwind here. Then I moved on to my next base. Bryson City is one of those places that is a entry place into the Smoky Mountain National Park. And I'm telling you, that place is magical. I did so much hiking. Every day I hiked about 10 miles, sometimes more. One day I did a hike that was about 15 miles. I don't see any wind in these treetops. So I've become really interested in hiking and camping lately. I mean, I did all that stuff when I was younger. When I was a kid, I spent most of my youth outdoors, running around in trails and creeks. I did a fair amount of camping and stuff like that as well, but I've been so impressed lately learning about people who do significant thru hikes where they have all their gear on their back. I want to experience some of that and test some of that. But the other thing that I really like is the hiking, because you get to be outdoors, you get some really good exercise. I'm not necessarily used to spending time in the Smoky Mountains, a really kind of dense forest that's inhabited by black bears. And so I'm trying to learn as much as I can about that so I don't freak myself out. The way I look at it is, if I see a black bear, he's typically going to try to slip away into the brush and get away from me. The unfortunate thing that happened during this trip was on my second hike, I was probably an hour away from campground up a mountain, and I startled a bear, and it agitated her. You know, she kind of huffed. She took off away from me, and then she came back toward me, kind of huffing at me. And eventually just kind of stood her ground. Oh, I startled a bear. I think I still hear him. Defenseless. And so I just left. Well, I spoke with a park ranger later that day, and he told me I probably did the right thing to just leave the mountain for that day. It was probably a mama bear with cubs nearby, and it's better to just give her space. But that wasn't the end of my story. I went on to do a tremendous amount of hiking after that. I also did a ton of other great activities like spending time fly fishing, riding down this river in a tube, and hiking to another mountaintop. Oh my God. I wanted to share all this because we have some places in our country that are so special and have been preserved for all of us to enjoy. Sometimes we forget just how close they are and how incredible. One more thing, I did meet a community of people here in this area who are into remote control planes and other cool things. He had a neat way of bringing a remote control skydiver up in the air and dropping him, and even had a remote control paraglider. I would have loved to have flown from this beautiful field, but the weather just didn't allow it on this evening. Well, I had one more thing that I wanted to share, and that was my trip to Mountain City, Tennessee, where I got to catch up with friends and enjoy some of the Moonshiners FlyIn. So let me share that at the very end of this video. Please enjoy, and I'll catch up with you all soon. So Mountain City, Tennessee is not too far from where I live. It's right in the northeast corner of Tennessee, near the border of North Carolina and Virginia. FlyIn is held at the county airport, nestled right in a valley between mountain ranges. So there's plenty of rotor, and the conditions can feel wonky to a flatlander like myself. I actually failed a couple launches before I had the chance to get up and enjoy this beautiful scenery. For me, the pinnacle was Friday morning when I had this flight. Well, you can see the fog layer sitting down in the valley, and of course the mountains are poking out on every side. It's just beautiful here in Mountain City, Tennessee, and I was disappointed I missed the sunrise flight. Look back down that valley. Wow. Yeah, a little bit cooler down low. What's up? It was really good.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice up there.
Yeah, felt great.